4.75 over here. That's our width. Knees 3.5 centimeter. So 1, 2, 3, and this is 3.5 centimeter. Okay. Then last we have ankle at 4.25 and 4.5 the figure ends. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 4.25. This is 4.5 where the toes come and the figure ends. 4.25 is for ankle. So understood like this, we mark all the vertical measurements and then we move ahead with the horizontal. So this is our line which we follow for a figure. Now we mark the horizontal measurements. So now what I did is like 0.4, 0.2 each side. So what does this mean? What I have written is, I have to make neck which is 0.4 inches broad. Now 0.4 I have to divide it on both the sides equally only, because obviously then only the figure will look uniform and like a human body, because we have symmetry on both the sides. We'll start with head. This is 1 inch. So 1.5 is 0.5. That's why I didn't write it over here, because that's very easy and basic. I wrote only for the difficult ones. So 1 inch broad head. So now what we have to do is, we have to divide this again 0.5, 0.5 on each side. You can see 0.5 is on the one side and 0.5 is on the other. I'll show it to you on my blog figure. This is 0.5. This is 0.5. Okay? And our head was 1 inch long. So again, यहाँ पे भी we will take 0.5 on one side, 0.5 on other side. So that's how our head will become 1 inch long and 1 inch broad. Then we have our neck, which is 0.4 inches. That means 0.2 on each side. Now, as I told you, for 0.2, what we'll do is 0.25 say we'll take one division less. So this is 0.2. You see here, but I have to take just 0.2. So I'll mark 1 and then 0.2. Like this. This is 0.25, but I have to take 0.2, so I take just the next division of 0.25 as 0.2. One division less than 0.25 is 0.2. Again, shoulder is 1 inches broad, that means 0.5 on each side. This was our neck at 1.2. Now we have shoulder at 1.25. So again, 0.5 on each side, like this. 0.5 here, 0.5 here. That will make 1 inch. Then chest pe we don't have to make any measurements. Okay, so why we are not making any chest measurement over here is because in kids figure there are less curves in kids figure. As we grow up and become adults, then only we get particular curves in human body. Like you can see, a male figure is broader from the chest and shoulder and narrower at the waist, like a V shape, what we call. And in female figure, we get more curvy adults. Adults' body are more curvy than the kids. Like bust is heavy, then we have a smaller waist, then we have heavy hips. So that's how we get that hourglass kind of a figure. So kids' figure are less curvy, that's why we don't give chest measurement here. Then we have waist, which is 1 inch broad. That means 0.5 on each side. This is our waist. So again, 0.5 on each side. 0.5 on this side, 0.5 on this side. Then we have hips, which is 1.25. So when you divide 1.25 by 2, you get 0.6 inch. This is our hips. I have to mark 0.6. This is actually 0.5. Now what I'll do is I'll move ahead and go 2 divisions extra, like 1 division extra to make 0.6. Same thing I'll do on the other side. This is 0.5. I'll go 1 division extra and mark 0.6. Then at knees, we don't mark anything horizontally. Ankle, we have 0.3. Now 0.3 again divided by 0.2, divided by 2, we get 0.15. 0.3 divided by 2, 0.15. This is our ankle. So we have to mark 0.15. So 0.15 is less than 0.25. Okay. So 0.15 is less than 0.25. So this much is 0.25. But I have to mark 0.15, so I'll go less. You can see how less I go. 1 division less than 0.25 to mark 0.15. Like you can just say 0, so you go 2 divisions more. Here also. You have to go 2 divisions more to mark 0.15. This was a 0.25. So these things you just have to keep in mind. Like just understand 0.15 is less than 0.25. So you have to go less. 0.2 mark that is going 1 division less, because 0.2 is just a little less than 0.25. So we were just going the next division of 0.25. Now 0.15 is less than 0.2. So we go 1 division less than 0.2 here. That will be 0.15. And these like 0.2, 0.15, 0.3, 0.6, all these things you don't have to learn. If I have told you, okay, this second division is 0.1 or 0.25 or whatever, these things you just have to do with your own common sense. You can't learn each and every line, smaller lines on this scale. Just remember the basic ones, 1, 0.5, and these are 0.25, this is 0.75. Just remember these and just use your common sense and basic maths to mark the other smaller measurements. Okay, so last we were there at foot or toe, which is 0.5. Again, divided by 2 is 0.25. So this 0.25 on each side, that will make 0.5. Okay. So once you mark all these things on a line, like I was doing it over here. First we did all the vertical measurements, then we do all the horizontal measurements and just join them with dotted lines like this. Then you get this full figure. Now I will tell you how we mark the arms. For arms, it's very simple. You just have to take half of this. What was this? This is actually 1 inch. Sorry. This is 1 inch. Okay. When we divide 1 by 2, what we get? 0.5. So, on the upper body, this portion we mark 0.5 over here. This will be your armhole. On both the sides, we mark 0.5 on this body. Then, from the waist, we'll mark 0.5 to mark the elbow. From the hips, we'll mark 0.25 to mark the palm. This distance is 0.5. This distance is 0.25. This point is 0.5. Okay. Now, when you just mark these 3 points, join them with dotted lines. Join this. And again, one more thing. This portion is 0.25. This is 0.2 inches. When I draw these two columns, what it means is inches. Okay, so just mark these measurements and dotted lines, join them with dotted lines. That's the palm, and you just have to draw freehand palm. There is no measurement for palm, just a small palm. Obviously, you can't draw very big palm, it's proportionate. One more thing to keep in mind whenever you are drawing any human figure, may it be adult or kid, always remember your elbow is always parallel to your waist. Your wrist palm is always parallel to your hip. This is the proportion of your arm. When later on you will draw freehand drawing, that time you have to keep this in mind, like you can see in this figure. The elbow comes near the waist. The palm comes near the hip. That's how you remember the body proportion when you are drawing it. Okay. So, once you draw this template, the block, now what we have to do is, we have to make the flesh figure of this. I'll show you one of the flesh figure. 1 second. See this. This I taught in the other class. What I did is, this same block hai, and I just flesh it out and make it like this. And then we draw the other things, the garment, the hairstyle and everything. So what we do here is, remember when you are drawing face, the single point you have to keep in mind is, kids' face we draw round because kids we like to see chubbier and healthy kids. So make round face. For female faces, we draw more of an elongated, oval-shaped face. And for men, we draw broad face. So these 3 things you have to keep in mind for all the type of figures. So, and what I have to do when I have to draw a face is I have to complete a round in this. So this will be my head. That's how we start drawing. This is, once you draw this block figure, it becomes very easy to make a figure because you already have the entire figure ready. You just have to give it a little bit of curves, like these are very pointed things. You have to get curves in them. Now this is our neck, which turns into a shoulder. Okay. Now this is the R. Now this is a pointy. Give it a little bit of curve. Again the same thing. And you see when you bend your arm, you get a little bit of crease over here. So whenever you're drawing kids, just remember how our body is actually in a particular pose or you see, it becomes so easy now to draw a figure. Earlier, you might think, oh my god, how to draw a proper figure. But now, and this, wherever the hip line is there, that's our crotch area. The pelvic region or the hip, where the torso ends and where the legs start, that point is called crotch. We draw the crotch on the hip line. Then here the knees are at 3.5. 1, 2, 3, and this is 3.5. This point we have to draw knee. So again knees, so you have to give a little curve. And now we are learning just a basic figure, so that's why this figure is standing straight just to understand the proportion and measurements of the body. So when it's standing straight, our knees will have just a little gap in between them, like this. Then again the same thing on this side. I like this flesh figure is ready now. And you might think while you're learning kids figure is because there are a lot of kids wear brands. So when you're doing kids wear collection, you have to draw kids figure also. So that's why this is just a basic kids figure. And now we move ahead with female figure. And then I'll tell you about the skin rendering and draping the garments and hairstyle on the figure. These are the measurements for the female figure. You can note it down later on. So in female figure, what we do is we draw a 12-inch long body in female figure. So like how we did in kids figure, we did 4.5. Here we do 12 inches long. So here the head is 1.5, shoulder 2. So like all these measurements you have to draw on a 12-inch long line. Again, same thing. Here the horizontal measurements are divided by 2 and written in brackets. My scale is short. It's just a 6-inch long scale. I would say go for a 12-inch long scale, I don't have it, so that's why I'm using it, the small one. So in small scale, you get 6 inches. So for 12 inches, what you have to do is draw it again. Like you will draw 6 inch, then again shift it, and again make 6 inch till here.
Ma'am, the
So
female
you
body
draw
height is
hanging like that. Then what you have to do is head is at 1.5. So from the starting point, mark 1.5. Like this is 1, this is 0.5. 1.5. Shoulder at 2. So, and make sure whenever you are doing this, your scale should be at a right position. Shoulder market bust at 3. So just after 2, 3. Waist at 4.25. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 25. So 4.25. Yeah, once again. Start with head, which is 1.5 inch, 1 and 0.5. That makes 1.5. 1.5 head. Then we have shoulder at 2. So this is 1, this is 2. This is the shoulder point. Then bust is at 3 inch. So 1, 2, 3. Again, waist is at 4.25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0.25. So this is 4.25. One, 2, 3, 4, and 0.25, 4.25. Okay. Then we go ahead with hip measurement, which is 6. Then we have knee at 9. So after hip, we have knee. Sorry, hip we didn't measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where the scale ends. That's our hip point. And knee is at 9 inches. So if I have to make knee, what I have to do is I have to
extra than hip. Why? Because my scale is small. If I had 12-inch long scale, then I would have got 9-inch marking on the scale itself. Right now, I don't have a long scale. I have a short scale. So I'll shift the scale and again start measuring it. This was our hip at 6. So after 6, this is 7, 8, this is 9. This is knee. Ankle 11.25. So this was our knee at 9. This is 10. This is 11 and 11.25 here. Okay, and this comes our foot. The body ends over here. So like we did in kids figure, here also we are doing straight line. So first we have to draw a straight line. do the vertical measurements, do the horizontal measurements like we did for kids figure. Like head is there 0.75. So divided by 2 is 0.37. So here what we'll do is mark 0.37 on each side of the line. So what will be 0.37? 0.37 will be more than 0.25 but less than 0.5. Okay. Okay, so once again, I'll start from after hip, I'll start again. Some of you have some doubt. This is 6-inch long. Okay, here was our hip at 6-inch. Now my scale is short, that's why I have to shift it. Okay, we ended over here at 6. I'll start again from that point. Now I have to mark 9-inch for the knee. So this is 6, this will be 7, 8 and 9. Okay. Then our ankle is at 11.25. So after 9 comes 10, 11, 11.25. That's where our ankle will come. And that's it. Just after the 6, you just have to measure 2 more things. Other than that, everything is above 6. Now we'll go ahead with horizontal measurements, which is 0.37 on each side. As I was telling you, 0.37 is more than 0.25 but less than 0.5. So we'll mark it somewhere between these two. Like say this middle one will be 0.37, more than 0.25 but less than 0.5. You can see how I have kept it. More than 0.25 but less than 0.5. I have kept it 1 division extra than 0.25. Okay. Now I'll just mark a point. And whenever you are drawing, just draw it very light-handedly. Don't do with a lot of pressure, because these lines you have to erase after all. These are just guidelines for you to draw figure. Okay. 0.37 on this, 0.37 on this side. Here our head was 1.5 inch long. So here also I will have to do 0.37, 0.37. We have to mark 0.37 on each side of the line to make the broadness of the face. So now 0.37 will be more than 0.25 because 0.2 is small, 0.3 is more, 0.5 is more than that. Like this is an increasing order. You can see 0.3 will be in between 0.25 and 0.5. That's why what we are doing is I'm marking it 1 division extra than 0.25 to make it 0.37. Got it? Now I'll show it to you like how it will look at the end. It will look something like this. This is what we are making, female figure. See, this is 0.37 on each side block, this square, sorry, rectangle, and then we'll draw the head. So I'll show you the horizontal measurements. Now shoulder is 2.25 inch broad, so 1.12 on each side of the line. This is our shoulder point. After head, like this is our head. I'm just drawing it without scale, but you draw it with scale. I'm doing it so that you understand what we are doing. Okay, that's our head. Shoulder, we have to do 1.12 on each side. This is 1 inch. Obviously, by now you must have understood this is 1 inch. So we have to do just a little more than 1 inch, 1.12. So just go one division extra and mark a point over here. Same thing. One division से थोड़ा सा extra we'll mark.